I'm your narrator, Aidia Kirksey, and I will briefly discuss the basis of liabilities during an emergency. Why liabilities occur during an emergency are primarily to the failure to comply with legal duties, failure to perform specific duties which are generally accepted as part of being the emergency management's responsibilities, failure to train, failure to supervise, and failure to plan. Emergency managers should be familiar with and surround themselves with experts who know and practice personnel law, contract law, and ethics law. Violation of personnel law may stem from failure to comply or failure to supervise. Violation of contract law may stem from failure to plan or failure to perform. Violation of ethics law can originate from failure to train or failure to supervise. Careful consideration of these laws may prevent risk from developing into negligent suits or civil suits. Liabilities are not only the responsibility of government employees, but also civilians if they engage in emergency or disaster proceedings. The American National Standards Institution established the NFPA 1600 as the National Preparedness Standards. This was done July 22, 2004. The NFPA 1600 is a voluntary accredited planning program which could help in the solution for mitigating litigation. Also, to help mitigate litigation, there are certain state immunities to provide protection. Immunity is not open-ended. Acts must be within the employee's scope of employment. Government employees are not the only ones with immunity. Civilians may also receive immunity under the Good Samaritan provision. Being familiar with personnel law, contract law, ethics law, and the failures to will assist in achieving the goals of litigation mitigation. These factors apply on the federal, state, and local levels. Failing to consider civil rights and liberties must be considered when mitigating litigation. There are numerous laws that protect citizens before, during, and after an emergency or disaster. During an evacuation, the Civil Rights Act of 1964 can easily be violated if, for an example, an emergency manager gives evacuation orders to an upscale white neighborhood. This same upscale neighborhood is not in any imminent danger, but receives first priority in the evacuation. The neighborhood located on the coast is in imminent danger, but did not receive evacuation instructions until several hours later. Let's say during the same evacuation, the Age Discrimination Act of 1975 would be violated if the same coastal neighborhood was of elderly population and they had limited mobility. The resources which were available were allocated to the upscale neighborhood that was not in any imminent danger. Whether the discrimination was intended or intentional or unintentional, liability risks are borne. FEMA offers an independent study on civil rights and disasters. You can access more information from the link below. A great recommendation is to watch the movie Volcano, which stars Anne Heche, Tommy Lee Jones, and Don Cheadle. This movie is highly recommended because it captures all of the elements of emergency management. This concludes my presentation.